Today is Tuesday, the 1st of April 2024. This is the Voice of Turkey's English language transmission, broadcasting from Ankara in the 16-meter band between 12:30 and 13:30 UTC on 17,620 kHz to Europe. You can listen to us over the Turksat 4A and 4A satellites and on the internet at www.prtdinle.com through Radio Unid and under the VOC Radio's expandable section. Our email address is englishdesk@prtdinle.co. Following the news, the Voice of Turkey will present some featured programs as well as some music from Turkey. But first, let's start with the news. Gaza suffers as children and aid workers killed in Israeli bombardment.
各位听众大家好，欢迎收听这期的英国流社，也英国响起爱的剧来先锋。虽然不必和重新上学嘅璀璨光芒歌曲所吸引呢，此劇呢是不是已經被北極睇成一場標記？如果夜路所證明乜？回答呢就是泰勒社會火的 Taylor Swift。呢個歌曲每隻小用做等直到背晒呢天，多能也入映到我啦，看住我背後有隻作平方劇靈能叫我嘅故事。
Well, as the best as the captain up the 10.
Well, that's me, so I decided to give it a try. I'm Larry Sounder, and that's Sounder and Friends.
£10 palms.
I have opportunities here in Australia that I just wouldn't have back home.
This is our year. We're going to make this country our home.
Watch on BBC iPlayer.
BBC News at 8 o'clock. Stock markets across the world have dropped in response to Donald Trump's announcement of a raft of tariffs last night.
Roger Daltrey from the film Vicar, who remembers that? Starring Roger Daltrey. And there's a track called Free Man. Radio. Don't forget the website address, by the way, shortwaveradio.de. For everything you need to have this radio station, shortwaveradio.de.
Tegen de autoloze zondag. Jongen. Nou, we het nou voor elkaar hebben we hier. Iedereen die stroomt hier maar naar binnen. Hij krijgt een uitkering, krijgt een huis en een goede verzorging. En hij lang genoeg. Ik kunnen er plat over, hè. Ja, zeker, zo gaat het. Maar dan we dat wat gaan maken, dan moet je hier even naar luisteren, jongens. Dit is Abu Dhabi Radio. Kom je drankjes uit? Dan don't listen on this frequency because this frequency is occupied.
What I do, get me home and make my dreams come true.
En zo is dat ook. Ik zal wel heel goed aan een luisteraars en alle deze bent verbonden, maar ik hoop ik dan zo. Als ik vanuit Nederland van de party hier. En onder ons van tradition.
It's Weekend Music Radio, WMR, playing some music that we heard during that air check. I thought I haven't heard Pt1's Concentrating for quite some time. So I'm going to play this today. Two tracks from 1993 here on WMR.
Dit is de plaat van Earth and Fire en Memories. De Continental hier, 5800 en 6290. De 48 meter en de 50. Piraten uit het noorden. En dan gaan we soms weer lekker verder. Met zo links en rechts wat plaatjes aangeboden aan twee gekke piraatjes hier. Is de Continental. En nogmaals een hele goede avond, hè. Wij zijn piraten uit het noorden.
Sentiamo Riccardo против Настенька.
对话一。
你感冒了，我给你开点感冒药。
好的。
А как се взимам това лекарство?
Можешь да попиташ лекаря. 每天吃几次？
每天吃几次？
If you take the whole complex of Trump policies, tariffs that, as I just said, could cost the average household up to around $4,000 a year. You have the administration that said it's worker focused, and I really can't think of an overall economic agenda that could be more devastating on every front, from tariffs to cuts in government services to leaving very large deficits and taking policies that will expand the deficit when we need to see exactly the opposite.
The China International Consumer Products Expo will open in Haikou, Hainan Province on Sunday, featuring over 4,100 brands from 71 countries and regions.
こちらは NHK ワールドラジオ日本 NHK の国際放送です。 AI のアナウンスでお伝えしました。
Eén van beiden, maar nooit allebei. On the shortwave frequency, 6130 megahertz. 6130 megahertz. This is Radio Europa.
漂洋過海來看你，係中國台灣女歌手娃娃演唱嘅歌曲。呢首歌其實講嘅係娃娃同一個詩人阿魯之間發生過嘅真實故事。當年娃娃同戀人一見鍾情，為咗見到佢，每次都輾轉從台灣飛到香港，然後再從香港飛到北京去睇佢。當娃娃談起呢段漂洋過海嘅戀愛時，揾石唱片嘅同事們都默默關心。而作曲家李宗盛有咗想幫娃娃創作歌曲嘅諗法，於是後來就有咗呢首歌曲嘅誕生。
broadcasting.org. That's mail@bbroadcasting.org. Thank you for listening.
Идет в эфире международного радио Китая. Шанган, Гугун, Сиху, Панда, Шоу, Пельмень. Китайский самовар.
Здесь все о китайском туризме. Отправимся в путешествие по Китаю.
Low power and high power, this station, we are from the Netherlands.
311279.
Internacional. Eslovaquia. Muy buenos días, estimados televidentes. Las noticias y el tema del día de hoy han sido preparados por su redactor José Portuondo. El presidente eslovaco cree que la inteligencia artificial debería usarse más en la gobernanza estatal.
Yeah, your proper report was you went 25 over then, dropped back to about 15-20, so big signal, big audio. What were you on?
The religion is very important part of the human life.
I like a strong, united center.
How would you explain his contribution to the Constitution in drafting? Dr. Ambedkar was one of the learned.
台北呢嘅廣場成績單，本身學嘅電視有關過去嘅習俗，過去嘅在職細節啊，不靈世界，好些不一樣。
Vom 14. bis zum 17. April findet in Hanoi der Gipfel der Partnerschaft für grünes Wachstum und die globalen Ziele 2030 die statt.
ሃርቫርድ ትራምፕን አሻፈረኝ ያለ ቀዳሚ ዩኒቨርሲቲ ነው። ዜናዎቹ እነዚህ ናቸው። ወደሚቀጥለው ዘገባ ስናልፍ በግ የሰረቀ ፍርድ ቤት ሲቀርብ ሰምተናል። በሬም እንዲሁ
many of the renewable energy projects, the robotics, I think your country is really advancing very much, and because of our Asian values, I think it will be easier for us to understand each other business wise,
especially at a time when things are at a critical moment. It's very important for our countries to be able to work together, not just bilaterally, but also multilaterally with any other nation that hopes to continue upholding the institutions of trust.
Mentioned as an ASEAN chair this year.
I've got no idea if this is playing in the Western State. It's not that as well. Little land diving. There's the innocent. Shortwave Radio. On again,
На предыдущем уроке наша главная героиня, студентка из Вьетнама Сам, пришла в общежитие дом Харусан, в котором она поселится, пока будет жить в Японии. Она встретила домовладелицу Харусан, которая, к большому удивлению там, оказалась роботом. Сегодня в честь приезда Сам в общежитии устраивают вечеринку. Кайто, который тоже здесь живет, приготовил массу вкусной еды. Кайто обожает готовить.
Давайте послушаем диалог третьего урока.
And also while you're in Samek's area, can you monitor 128.360 Samek? Protocol 0, Papa, Samek Radio 680, your secondary of 5649er for Samek. 30 West, for Gander, call 8891635616. Starting Delta Echo Foxtrot, Samek.
What that said was Weekend Music Radio Scotland. Evidently we did get waterfoil that said Weekend Music Radio Scotland to try out, but it lasted for 2 or 3 minutes. You know, it was a very, very long drawn out affair, and to ask listeners to listen to that hash on the shortwave for all that time didn't seem right, so we got it shortened to WMR only. Absolutely, WMR only for the waterfall art. It's a station that comes on in wideband SSB from the States called Mixed Radio International. Sometimes they have a just to the right-hand side of their transmission with the waterfall art. It's quite cool actually to watch all the pictures and what have you go by. They're very good at it. And they have some fine signals here in Europe as well.
Like